congratulations, 300 games. It's a very elite club. As a youngster, do you ever think you'd reach the mark?
Never in my wildest dreams. I always thought I'd never get to Melbourne because Warrnambool was so far away, but as you grow older you realise 3 hours isn't too far. And yeah, I mean, I was never really a goal setter, but I mean, if you had have told me to play 300 games and to play in a successful period at Hawthorn and then be traded to Melbourne and enjoy your footy, I would have loved that opportunity.
I'm guessing too many highlights to reel off, but have you got a few that really stand out? Obviously, premierships.
Yeah, premierships are probably the one that you always get drawn back to. But you know, I've enjoyed throughout my career playing with some superstars of the game, and I was very fortunate to play, you know, with Shane Crawford towards the back end of his career and achieve success with him, and seeing what he put into that club. That was a real highlight for me, and to be able to play football now and have my family come to the games and my boys be there, not necessarily the twins, but more Freddie, because I remember the days when I was going to football with my father, and they're some of the greatest memories that I've got.
What excites you about this club moving forward?
For me, it's the energy around the place and the young kids coming through and seeing the quality of the young kids, and also the coaching staff and their vision. And when you get older, you see a lot that goes into putting a side out on the weekend, and you see the direction the club's going. And I suppose that's what excites me the most.
How much does playing for a second club change at all how you look at something like 300?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I look at it at the fact that maybe if I didn't get an opportunity to come to Melbourne, I might not have played 300. So I think I've been really privileged to experience two different sides and two well-established sides, and to meet new friends for life. And that's been, you know, knowing what I know now, I would still probably make the same decision that I made.
Is your heart Hawthorn, do you think?
No, I can honestly stand here today and say that I've got a lot of great memories at Hawthorn. When I finish my career, I will love both sides.
Mentally, did it freshen you up, changing clubs and new environment, different sort of situations?
Yeah, no doubt. I think players who either play for a long period of time at one club, they'll have some sort of change. And that was probably the strength of Hawthorn. We had the same coach, same head fitness staff, same head physio. So there was no real change, which provides stability, which was a good thing. But for me, probably later on in my career, to have that change and to have a different voice, different people around the club has no doubt been refreshing for me.
And extend your career potentially as well, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it wasn't as if I was playing bad football at Hawthorn, but certainly, and I didn't seek out change, but certainly having that change forced upon you, you realise that it does sort of give you a bit more of a pep up, and you meet new players, you want to prove yourself again in a short period of time, and that has all been, I think, a positive for me.
What's been the secret, do you think, Jordan? I mean, you've been unbelievably consistent and resilient. You've barely missed any footy, suspended a couple of times, but we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Best and fairest in a premiership year. What has it been that you think has got you through all this footy?
I suppose it's just the competitive nature and the love of the game. Like every single training session, whether it be a recovery run on a Monday or a training session today, I want to perform really well and make sure the group is on to that task. So that, I think that's kept me fresh, I suppose, but also the way I've been able to adapt to the game and to the different positions that I've played. I haven't just been a midfielder my whole career, so you don't get stale in one position. I've been a defensive forward, I've been a winger, I've been half back, so I've been able to move around and keep my football knowledge moving, and that's what I've enjoyed. But I think when it comes down to it, you're either a really competitive person that keeps you in the game. You need a bit of luck to stay injury free, and you need to enjoy yourself, and that's sort of what I've been able to do.
I guess that one question that comes to a lot of guys that play 300 games is, how long do you think you can keep going for?
Yeah, it's always hard to ask that question. I think when you come into the game, there's always people out there that want to be the first one to say, this guy's going to be a really good player. And then when you come to the latter part of your career, it's like, this guy will finish up really soon. So that's what you've got to deal with. I suppose if I'm playing well, my body's healthy, the club, there's still a position for me, I'll play as long as I possibly can. If that isn't there, well then I'll retire and go on to something else.
the milestone coincides with a really big game for the footy club. You've played in more big games than most. As a leader here at Melbourne, what will you say or what have you said going into a game like this? Because, you know, it was another loss in a big game on the weekend, albeit you put yourself in the right position all the way to the final side.
Yeah, I don't think there's probably much we need to say this week. We experienced a pretty hotly contested game on the weekend, and we put ourselves in a position to win the game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I think the way that we've reviewed the game, the way that the group has bounced back with their attitude, I think we'll see a really positive bounce back this week. And we understand we play well at Adelaide. We've played them this year, albeit it wasn't with a few players, and they'll play a different way. But yeah, we're really excited to get on the plane and get over there as a group and hopefully perform really well.
How different prospect are they at the moment compared to when you faced them in round 10?
I think nearly completely different. One, it was a game in Alice Springs, so a different environment for them. They probably didn't have too many fans up there. They're in a position now where they need to win. They're playing with a little bit more freedom, so that poses a different threat. And they get Taylor Walker back, who provides a focal point, who wasn't there in Alice Springs. So there's a lot of different elements, and they've got some players that are playing well. So yeah, we're under no illusions of the task that we have going over there.
Clayton Oliver left the track early. Can you tell us what's wrong there? Is he all right? Is he going to play?
I don't know. I didn't even know that he left the track early. That's how aware of it I am. Yeah, not sure. Sorry.
Jesse Owen, did he train?
I didn't see him out there. No.
Not sure why.
No, not sure why. I think you guys know they deliberately don't fill you in on these sort of things because they know you'll get asked.
Tell you what, though, I mean, Oliver's red hot right now, and especially playing Adelaide, he'd be one that you definitely do want on your side.
Yeah, he's a player. It's sort of hard to forget that he's around sort of 30 or 40 games as an AFL player. So him, along with a few of our other young kids, have really transitioned to professional footballers, and we're seeing that by the way of their performance. And the midfield group and arguably got the best ruckman in the comp, so they should be playing well. It's a very handy position to be in.